Hey there. So I've been getting a lot of questions about voice agents, and voice agents are picking up steam. They're very effective to help businesses deliver value to potential customers and current customers. Plus, it can add a unique user experience that text-based chatbots just cannot deliver. And so in this video, we're going to be breaking down an n8n workflow that you can build in order to create your very first AI voice agent. Maybe it's for yourself, maybe it's for your business, whatever the case is. This video has got you covered, and it's actually pretty simple. And so we're going to go ahead and get into this right now. Okay, so the first thing we have here is the webhook node. And so the webhook essentially acts as the listener. It waits for data to get sent after each call, and it's going to create a unique URL that receives post requests. So basically, this is triggering the entire workflow. And it's just going to send a webhook, and it's going to send data to our AI agent. Now, when we get to the AI agent, so you can think of the webhook as a trigger, essentially. When we get to the AI agent, this is the brain. This is the intelligence behind the whole operation. And so what it's going to do is it's going to analyze the call, which is essentially a message from a user. And it's going to extract specific information using AI. That's where our chatbot's going to come in. So we need to have an LLM model baked into this. So take your pick. They're all good. You can't really go wrong with any of these. I recommend Gemini, but you could use any of them. I don't recommend DeepSeek. They're supposed to roll out an update soon, so maybe then you can roll out the DeepSeek if you want. I wouldn't recommend it. I stick with American models, but that's just me. And so anyways, what it's going to do is it's going to convert this unstructured data into structured data, and it's going to act as intelligence that understands the human language, NLP, natural language processing. So basically, let's say we choose GPT-4o. That model is going to process the text. And then it's going to read the transcript from the webhook, so the message. From there, what's going to happen is it's going to follow the prompt instructions, and what you'll do is you will set a prompt inside of the agent that, you'll basically just say, hey, you are a customer service rep, and your goal is to analyze the message from people, push it forward, and answer it in a way that reflects our values and is very informational and helpful. You'll make up a prompt, And then what you're going to do is you need to have structured output that forces consistent JSON content. And so that is going to be in our structured output parser. Open up for us, buddy. So basically what you'll need to do here is just give it an example of the output that you want and the structured output in the terms of the JSON. So that's going to go in the output parser. You want to keep the temperature at about 0.3. It's going to ask you the temperature, and 0.3 seems to be very consistent. And I personally really like that. So in addition to this, what we're going to do is we're going to have our memory. So we need to have some sort of context or some sort of memory, and that's just going to make sure that we remember the full context of the conversation. This is usually stored as a vector database. And the memory will just make sure that, if a person asks for eggs, just as an example, we know that we need to answer them about where to get eggs and where to find them. Now, we also need to add a voice in 11 Labs if we're going to be doing a voice agent. Now, this is pretty simple to set up. All you got to do is go get your credentials. You have to be a member. You have to pay essentially for API access. And then you can choose, do you want voice, speech? Like, what do you want to do? And it's very easy to set up. I'm not even going to go spend too much time on this because it's really straightforward. You just fill it in. But essentially what we have here throughout all of this is we have our intelligence, we have our voice, we have our memory, and we have our output, structured output, how we want it. And so from here, it's really simple. I mean, the data is going to go into a Google Sheet. And if we decide that the best course of action is to send an email, we can set conditions to where we will send an email. But usually what we're going to do here is we're going to send it back to the website so that it can talk to the person. So it's going to send the data into a Google Sheet to store it, just so we have our records saved in there. And then it's going to send to a webhook. And it's honestly as simple as that. So if we're talking about the Google Sheet, it's storing the extracted customer data. It's acting as your CRM and database. It's creating a permanent record of each call, and it's allowing easy access to the lead information. And the way it works is it connects to your Google account, finds the right spreadsheet, maps the AI extracted data to the spreadsheet columns. It makes a new row for each call, and it can update existing rows if needed. So really easy to set up, really straightforward. And then we're not going to spend too much time on the email node communication, but in terms of the webhook, what it's going to do is it's going to send confirmation back to the AI that the data was received. It's going to complete the webhook request cycle, and it's going to prevent any timeout errors, which is something that might pop up for you a lot. But you can see, I mean, this is a really simple build. Now, we're going to make a different video about how to actually structure the 11 Labs voice, basically going deep into the AI agent part of things, because that's where it gets tricky and that's where people get messed up. But the other things, it's really as simple as just setting up the automations and letting them rip. It's truly as easy as that. So if you want to set up a voice agent, this is a good way to get started. You're going to need to know a little bit more about how to actually set up this AI agent. But I just wanted to show you, if you wanted a voice agent in your business, it's very easy. And even if you had no technical knowledge and you took this video and ran with it, I bet within a week you could set up a fully automated, fully functioning voice agent. So it really is quite simple. And I honestly think that voice agents are going to become more and more popular over the years as they become more and more natural sounding. I mean, you've already seen examples of people using an agent to call a restaurant and to essentially place an order, or whatever the case might be, and people can't even tell that it's not real. So pretty crazy stuff, pretty crazy world that we're stepping into. Really bullish on AI voice agents, and this video should be a nice little starter for you. Like I said, we'll make more videos in the future that are much more detailed and intricate, but this should get you started. Hope it was helpful. See you in the next one.